we going?
Just keep going straight. You're getting tired?
Yeah. You shouldn't drink so much. Are we gonna get in trouble for this?
They won't notice a thing. That's how it looks most of the time anyway.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
You know, now I'm really looking forward to being old. Especially if I have like a terrible grandson.
Is this the only reason you're going to have children? Then?
Yeah, and just to be an old bastard who can mislead his really, really easily led grandson, his slightly stupid grandson.
Are you going to sort of lead him down the path that you just sort of kind of touched occasionally?
Yeah, I'm going to send him. I'm going to just send him right down and lead him on to it. Go and enjoy yourself. So yeah, we're here today to review Jackass Presents Bad Grandpa. Now, I've got to say, Jackass is a bit of a guilty pleasure.
Yes.
I kind of sit there going, I shouldn't like this. It shouldn't be funny. It's just a couple of, it's a bunch of now middle-aged assholes just being dicks.
Yeah.
But it's still fucking funny.
One of the best nights out I've ever had was we went to a bar that just had Jackass 2 playing on a loop without any sound. And we were supposed to like move on. We just stayed there and got lashed in this place. It was so funny.
It is funny.
Do you know what's good? Like, it's funny anyway, but the characters who make Jackass, Johnny Knoxville in particular, everyone loves Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
He's great.
In fact, I think the only person that I really don't like out of that group is probably Bam Margera.
Yeah, I don't like Bam. His tricks just turn nasty.
He's
sometimes.
a dick, basically. I don't like him, but Johnny Knoxville, Johnny Knoxville was kind of like the straight man. The rest of them all seemed like skater kids, but he just seemed like this. I say the straight man. He just seemed like the kind of the presenter.
Yeah,
like,
he would, but he's the one that would do all the worst stuff. And not bad, Bam bad. Like,
I think
the stupidest stuff.
Steve-O got some pretty stupid
Steve-O
stuff.
did.
And Chris Pontus, he started doing some pretty dark stuff towards the end of it, like the Jackass. But Jackass 3D is actually probably after Avatar the best 3D film I've seen. It's so good. They use it so well. It's fucking class. But yeah, this is a new film from them. That's kind of off the back of some of the stuff they did way back in the original Jackass movie, where I
can remember some of the original Bad Grandpa stuff.
Yeah, well, they basically dressed up in kind of old man prosthetics. Christ, I'll get it out there eventually. And did youthful people things like skateboard and stuff, and it was just that. But they've taken that concept.
Is it Jackass 2 then, where they walk around as the old man with his balls hanging out?
Yes, I'm going to say yes.
Can you remember that?
Jackass 2 is probably the one I've seen least.
Yeah,
I don't think I've
seen
actually
it like 6 times that one night.
But yeah, so they're basically taken that concept and made a slightly half scripted, half kind of stunt film. It's a weird
I'm guessing this is like down the line of Borat.
Yes, it's not as clever as Borat, and it's not quite as all outrageous, but it's more silly than Borat, which is pretty fucking stupid at the same time. But it's so you basically have a storyline and some scripted bits between the actual characters. And then you'll have, like, sketches that are in public places with people who aren't in on the joke.
Yeah.
And you'll get their reaction, and it's all done with hidden cameras. So it's a weird mix straight off the bat. It's far more... The thing with Borat is it was done as if he was somebody going across the country making a documentary, so it was all filmed properly. Yeah. Whereas this isn't. It's all taking people by surprise and doing stupid shit. So basically the storyline is that you've got Irving, who's played by Johnny Knoxville. He's the bad grandpa. And the film kind of opens, and he is in hospital, and the nurse comes and informs him that his wife, Ellie, his wife of like 50 years, has just died. And he's relieved, because he's finally free.
Is this one of the public place jokes?
Yeah, he's like sitting in the waiting room with loads of people, and he's like, oh, thank God. And he starts and then the nurse kind of leaves, like looking slightly bemused. And then he just turns to this woman next to him and going, oh, thank fuck for that, I'm free. You know, don't get me wrong, she's in a better place, but so am I. And this woman's like, oh, I'm very sorry. But he's just really happy. So it is funny, just like, stuff like that. But while he's kind of celebrating the fact that he's now free after so many years, on the flip side, you've got his grandson, Billy, who's this kind of little chubby kid, who is sitting in a waiting room of this kind of parole officer office, and he's sitting next to people saying that his mum's a crack addict and that she loves him, but not as much as crack. And these people are just like, oh, right. I'm very sorry to hear that. But basically, his mother is going back to prison for breaking a parole because she's apparently some kind of crack-themed drug dealer or something. So, and his father's estranged and lives across the country in North Carolina. I can't remember where they're from, Oklahoma or somewhere, but it's quite a few states over. So basically, this daughter, who I think is called Kimmy, played by Georgina Kate, she's not in it much, but she basically dumps her son with her father. She's going back to prison, and she says, "You need to get him to his dad,
All right.
so he can live with him, because I'm going back to prison." And this is done in the most awkward fucking way possible, because she bursts into her own mother's funeral. The thing is, the setup was ridiculous because it's like this open casket funeral, and Johnny Knoxville's like giving a eulogy, and he's like, "Oh, it's really nice that so many people are here today. I know it's unusual that somebody's funeral's filled with complete strangers, but we don't really know many people anymore." So basically, there's loads of strangers.
Why is people going to... Why are they
Well,
there?
some of them are like caterers who have to cater the funeral.
Oh, right, okay.
Some of them are like the choir that are going to sing, and one of them is the vicar, and then you've got the different people coming in. And the thing is, though, it's almost like it's like a weird setup where the only people that are at the funeral are the people who are arranging the funeral,
Yeah.
but they're all sitting on and they don't really know. And Johnny Knoxville's gives a really kind of awkward speech, and his daughter turns up and dumps the kid in the audience, and she's like, "I need to speak to you." It's like, "Well, it's not appropriate. It's your mother's funeral." Because look, it's urgent. So he wanders out with this microphone, and they close the door, and they're having this ridiculous conversation about how he's saying like she's going to prison because she's on crack again, and she broke parole. He's like, "I can't take the kid. I need to go and get some poon time." And everybody in the funeral can hear it because of the microphone on. And the vicar's like, tries to come up and say, "Look, you've got the microphone." And he's like, "Oh, yeah. And just closes the door. And everyone in the funeral's looking really awkward. And the kid's just like kind of sat there looking really depressed. But they burst in, again, haven't sorted it out. And the fucking daughter's like, "I need to say goodbye to my mother." And she's like over the casket, and she starts taking jewellery off her. And there's like this big scuffle, and he says, "You can't do that." And the fucking coffin gets knocked over, and the body comes out, and like everyone's shocked. And the daughter storms off, leaves the grandson with him, and John Knoxville's just trying to keep it together, going, "Look, just everyone start singing a song." And like he's got the fucking dead body, and he's like dancing with it while they're singing, and people are just like not really knowing what to do, but they've got to keep going with it. And it just gets so fucking ridiculous that you can't help but laugh. It's so awkward and just fucking stupid that these people have to go along with it just to save face. But that's kind of just an example of what the situations are like in this film.
It sounds like death at a funeral, but with real people who don't know what's going on.
Yeah, it's fucking stupid, man. It's just so overblown. It's crazy. And I mean, basically after the funeral, John Knoxville's character Irvin's stuck with his grandson, and he's got to take him to his father, who's a fucking, like, I think he's a drug dealer himself over in North Carolina, but basically he has to set up a web chat with him and tell him that he's going to bring his son, and he's like, "I can't take care of it." But when he finds out he can get child support, he says, "Bring him here." He's a meal ticket. So he's got to go on, like, John Knoxville's got to take his grandson on a road trip. And
did they do this web chat in a Starbucks or something with people? This
and they get a social worker to mediate between the two because he's never been able to get on with the father. So the social worker,
a real social worker.
Yes.
How's that allowed?
It's like it's so fucking bad. But yeah, it goes ridiculous. So he sets up on this road trip, and it's basically a road movie across the various like kind of southern states, getting him back to North Carolina, and it's just their adventures. And there's some fucking ridiculous scenarios, like there's bits where Johnny Knoxville leaves his grandson in a motel unattended.
Yeah.
One thing I didn't say is before they set off, he still has his wife's body. And one of the, like, before they set off, they're going to take her with her to bury her somewhere she loved. And he's like, he phones up a removal company to get rid of a bed. But when he brings them in, he goes, "Look, I didn't really want you to get rid of a bed. But if I told you why I wanted you, you wouldn't have come, so I needed a lie." So basically he gets them, like, pick up this dead body and load it into his trunk. And he's like, "Well, thanks, people wouldn't normally come and help with this, but I suppose it's actually a felony, isn't it? So thanks for the help, guys, with the felony." And the grandson's like, "Yeah, thanks for the crime, boys." It's fucking ridiculous. The guy, like, there's two guys, and the lead of them is like, "So do you actually want us to take the bed?" "No, I just want you to just carry my wife, it's fine." I'm like, "Alright then."
Let's see whether he got back to work.
I know, it's fucking ridiculous, some of the scenarios. So they're basically, him and his grandson and this dead body of his wife Ellie are travelling across the states and getting into stupid situations. Like, he leaves his grandson unattended to go looking for some action on a night, and he ends up at a strip club at ladies' night, so it's all like Chippendales, but it's in like a black neighbourhood. So there's him hitting on women who are there to watch strippers. And it just goes outrageous. Like, you know what you were saying, is there a scene in Jackass 2 where he walks around with his balls hanging out? Well, they bring that joke back to ridiculous effect. His grandson keeps wandering off and having like little things where he's sitting in the middle of a town centre and he's asking all the, like, he's striking up conversations with men who pass, and then like he gets into this conversation about how his grandfather's abandoned him and he's got no mum because she's back at prison, and he's like, "Can you be my new dad?" And he's like, "Can I have a hug, Dad?" "I love you," shouting across the These vlogs just look so fucking awkward as they shuffle off before they get listed as child molesters. So there's just loads of stupid stuff like that, and it shouldn't be fucking funny at my age, but it's so childish. You can't help but laugh.
You've done a better job of wanting me to see it than the trailer did, because I mean the trailer was funny. I love you say the striptease bit is.
Yeah, the trailer shows off probably the funniest moment, which is they go to a beauty pageant, and it's like the climax. And I suppose I shouldn't really be talking about it either if it spoils it, but it's in the trailer. So
yeah.
But they go to a beauty pageant and pass him off as a girl just for a bit of fun, and there's a bit where they've got to show like a dance talent, and he starts off as doing this kind of cutesy like sailor song, and it devolves into this really hardcore striptease. And it's so fucking funny. It's so outrageous. Like, people's reactions are ridiculous.
They don't really show you that from the trailer.
Yeah, they're mixed up a bit as well. Like, from what in the trailer, they don't actually what they play out as. But it's so.
Did they make them stop or something at some point?
No,
they let it go.
No, they'll just let it go all the way through. The thing is, though, like fucking Irvin gets on stage with them and he's like making it rain, throwing dollars on him. And there's a bit where he's like doing a pose and he comes with a bucket of water and don't want to. It's so far out. It's just ridiculous. And the best thing, I think it's in the trailer actually, like it finishes and everyone's like sitting there, open mouth, completely gobsmacked. But then there's one woman starts to clap and she's like, and then looks around. It's so fucking funny. Like, people's reactions are just ridiculous. And there's so many outrageous bits. I don't really want to spoil them, but it just like goes on and on. So it is definitely funny. If you've ever enjoyed Jackass before, fair enough. You're probably going to enjoy this. Maybe if you didn't like Jackass, you might like this because it's not just people getting hurt and doing stupid shit. It is actually like it is kind of scripted sequences that are funny. And people's reactions are sometimes class. I mean, it's like, how would I react in these circumstances? I don't know, because it's amazing how far you go on with bullshit if you're not really sure what's going on.
Yeah, I can imagine.
So it is funny, and they did a good job at setting up the kind of the stunts, the sequences, the non-scripted kind of sketches. What's less well done is the kind of the scripted sequences. They try to do like a thread of plot between like this developing relationship between an uncaring grandfather and his estranged grandson, and they're a little bit forced. But the little boy, Jackson Nickel, he's kind of he's cute. He's got like a little bit of a charm, and you feel sorry for him because he's just got these people.
He's done his job then.
Horrendous around him, and he doesn't really have a choice. It doesn't have a chance. So he's kind of cute. He does his job, and he's quite funny in his sequences. But it's probably just because it's a kid saying some really awful stuff.
Johnny Knoxville then? Is he on form? Because I've not seen someone I don't like him in.
Johnny Knoxville is fun. He is good at the part. Like, and he's got balls of steel, man. He does some things that could have got him in serious trouble very quickly. Yeah. And he just...
Well, just being in a black woman's stripper bar.
Yeah. These thing is, though, the black strippers, like, don't want him anywhere near him. Yeah. And he's talking to one of them, and he's like... He said, "Oh, you one of the dancers then?" And he's just like having a laugh with him, and he goes, "Oh, I bet you've got a massive cock," or something like that. And the guy just flips out on him, and like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here!" I was like, "Jesus Christ, man!" And then there's so many of them as well. There's like 6 or 7 of these huge strippers, and it just goes mad. But one thing as well, he just goes up his whole mission in this film is not really so much to get his grandson there safely; it's to get women. Yeah, because he's free and he doesn't have a wife. And he's just going up to women on the street and coming on to them. And it's like, Jesus Christ. These could just kind of sexual harassment. Some of them are fucking terrible, some of the things he says to them. I'm sure one of the ones in the strip club, he's like, "Hey ladies, do you want a serving of Irving?" To which they just laugh and move on.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is funny. I did like him. He does some pretty outrageous things. There's a nice chemistry between him and his grandson as well. And
Yeah,
while-
it looked like there was in there.
Yeah, I think you can tell, obviously, that the kid likes hanging around with him and he just thinks it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
John Nuxo kind of pushes it forward. The kind of scripted bits that make them kind of be more friends and develop a relationship are a bit forced. They're only there to serve, to give the film some structure.
Yeah.
And because it cuts between kind of scripted and non-scripted, they feel a bit disjointed in
Yeah.
regards to that. So that's
Do you think
not
it would have
really-
been better without them in at all and just have a sketch show? I don't know.
I don't know. It's hard to say.
It's a pitfall that every sort of... I mean, Jackass doesn't have a storyline in any of their films.
No, I've not noticed one.
But you've got... we mentioned Borat earlier and then Bruno, the
Oh yeah,
the
Bruno.
follow-up.
Which is
And the
they've got plots.
Yeah, and Dictator has... I think it's got a severe plot in The Dictator.
The Dictator is a plot. It's not like a hidden camera show
Yeah.
at all. It is a movie. I don't know really because
They always fall down... They try and get the balance between storyline and sketches.
Yes.
And I don't think anyone's hit the nail on the head and you say this one has neither. Is
I
this
think
closer?
The
Or?
plot doesn't get in the way of sketches, which it can do in like
Yeah.
the likes of. I think Borat is as much as I think Borat is brilliant, and I do think it's a better movie than this. I think towards the back end of the film, the plot gets in the way a bit.
Yeah.
This doesn't. The plot doesn't. It's not. I say that the story is a bit disjointed, but it doesn't really interfere with how funny the film is, and
Uh-huh.
it doesn't bring the laughs down. It's consistently funny because it's consistently outrageous. You always think you've seen the worst, and then there's more to come.
Yeah.
I mean, even the end scene, as kind of nice as it is, it's pretty fucking like ridiculous what they do in it when you really take the context of it. So it's nice enough, but they do feel a bit disjointed. But it's not a huge negative to the film. So yeah, it is a good. I wouldn't say it's a good film, but it's funny
Yeah.
and it's a good time. So I think, to be fair to this, I would give it probably a B.
Yeah, sounds
I had a really
fine.
good time with it, but it really is just a loosely strung together sketch show. But some of the sketches are so outrageous, and these people do put themselves in harm's way.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a scene involving a motorcycle club, busy Hell's Angels, and things could have gone really bad for certain people. And just for them to go out and do it
Yeah, well...
is quite ballsy. And then some of the other things are just so outrageous. And it's just the people's who aren't in on the jokes reactions are hilarious. So yeah,
I really want to see this now.
I'd honestly recommend watching it. It's a good time. It's not a great movie, but it's a good time, which is sometimes all you want.
This is another one we have to put on the list of when we're all around together, we should watch this.
Yeah, I think it would be good. I think it'd be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm going to give this a B. It's a strong B, a very much recommended B. And if you like Jackass, yeah, you'll enjoy this. But if you like sketch comedy, maybe you'll like it as well. Hidden camera comedy, I don't know.
I love hidden camera comedy.
I'd give it a try at least. There's nothing here.
Is there any crazy stunts in this, or is it all making people feel awkward?
There is one. One I can remember. It's something like a fucking cartoon that involves a folding bed. Like an electronic folding bed. It's fucking outrageous. But everything this does, it's like there's no subtlety here at all.
Yeah.
But it goes so far with the kind of heights that it works really well. So yeah, B, very, very much recommended B. Probably one of the funny movies I've seen this year.
Oh, cool.
Just for kind of like out loud laughs.
Yeah.
So yeah, well worth the price of admission. And I think this is probably one I wouldn't necessarily buy on release of DVD,
Yeah.
but I would definitely buy it if the
At some
price was
point.
right.
Yeah.
And when I get around to it. But yeah, it's good.
Cool.
And I gotta say, I think I said this when we did Jackass 3, which might have been many moons ago
Yeah.
at this point. But it's funnier now that they're older.
Yeah, I think you did say that then.
Because they're not just young dickheads who don't have any fear. These are middle-aged men who are like, kind of, oh shit, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And it carries over into like the bad grandpa character. He's like probably at the right age to do this while it's
Yeah.
still funny as a character. Maybe they do a sequel
When he's actually
when
old.
he's actually old, and the kid's growing up.
Oh, that would be good.
So yeah, I don't know. It is good. So yeah, B for bad grandpa.
Oh.
She's my cherry pie. Cool drinking water, such a sweet surprise. Tastes so good, make a grown man cry. Sweet cherry pie, yeah. Sweet cherry pie.
Don't hurt I'm 86 years old.
Don't hurt me. Swing it!